Welcome everyone to today's video. We're the Dimitrov-Boulay piano duo. My name is Dimitri Dimitrov.
And my name is Elvira Boulay.
And in today's video, we're going to talk about learning pieces by heart.
Learning by heart is something that a lot of people want to do, so let's dive straight into the tips.
I'll start with a very popular way of learning pieces by heart among pianists, and that is learning hands separate. But I'd like to elevate that a little bit to the next level and say not only that you have to learn your right or left hand separate, I'd like you to try to imagine or sing your other hand. So for example, now that I think of it, I'm not going to give an example of that. Let's just go with trust here. It works, but you're not gonna see me sing that. But you're just going to learn a left hand, and you're going to screech your right hand, or just howl it, or just sing it if you're good at that. But now, the idea, joke aside, the idea is that this is really helpful. Of course, you start with the basic principle of learning the left hand alone, but if you elevate it, like I said, to the next level and you try to imagine even your right hand, you will benefit enormously because everything will come together, will fall into place. And after that, when you're playing together with your right hand, or you learn the right and you're playing later with the left hand, you will see that you have a better understanding of what you're doing.
There also always comes a moment, especially if you're trying to sing or imagine the left hand while playing the right hand, there always comes a moment in which you think, wait, what was the left hand playing here again? Absolutely. And that's definitely a sign that you should go and look in the score and really make sure that you know very consciously what that hand is playing there. So the next tip is one that I use a lot, not too long sessions. So I like to keep my learning by heart sessions really short, otherwise I feel like I'm getting frustrated, I feel like I'm judging myself that I'm not learning enough.
Especially when you start singing, right?
Exactly. So for example, depending on how long the piece is and depending how advanced you are, you can make these sessions. For example, yesterday I was learning a piece by heart. It's a very short piece and I did 5-minute sessions. So if you have a short piece, you can do shorter sessions. Obviously, if you're learning fourth ballade by heart, I wouldn't advise 5-minute sessions, but just kind of keep in mind that you keep it in a session. You don't try to do a lot of work at once.
The next tip I have is listen to the piece often enough. And that means just that you're familiar enough with the piece, so when you're learning something by heart, that you can recognize if you're playing something wrong. Because you don't want to learn something and then later to realize month or two later, or even 6 months later, to realize that you have to relearn something. That's quite a pain in the... So just listen to the piece often enough, like we were discussing with you, even in the beginning before each learning session. Mm-hmm. Or maybe if you say like, hey, but that takes a long time. Of course, you can also listen just to the part that you're going to be learning by heart. If it's just if you're learning the first system of a piece, listen to the first system, stop the recording, and go and study the piece. In this way, you save time, but you will always be alert about the thing you're learning.
Not only that, also your memory has in general, you memorize in different ways. And memorizing by ear, by what you remember that you have heard, is actually one of the ways that you can memorize. For me, for example, it's one of the main ways I memorize. I memorize mainly by ear. In that case, it's very, very important that you have this piece really freshly in your memory.
What about if you sing it before and then... And the last one is what I hear very often from students. It applies also to other aspects of learning piano, not only memorization, but in this video it applies enormously. It is that I hear very often, well, I practiced very well, I learned a piece very well, but then the next day I don't remember a thing. Like I'm playing wrong notes. We wanted to tell you with this is that this memorizing pieces is a trained skill. It's something that you do and hone over a very long period of time. So forgive yourself the next day when you wake up and you feel that you memorized only 2 out of the 100 notes that you were playing the previous day. It's going to be fine. You just memorize again, be consistent with it, and you will see that over time, give yourselves 6 months to a year to actually feel that you're making any improvement with your memory.
And I think even that when you're on the top of your game memory-wise, even then memorization doesn't happen overnight because you have a short-term memory and you have a long-term memory. and it takes just actual literal time for your brain to understand that you don't want to forget it, that you actually want to put this information in your long-term memory. It takes a lot of repetition to get there. So regardless of, even if you're already really good at memorization, it's going to take you anyway a couple of days or something. It's not going to happen that you memorize it once and that the next day you remember it. That's never going to happen for any of us.
Absolutely not. Well, that would be it from us for today. And if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask us. If you have questions about a specific spot in a specific piece, that also will be great.
And don't forget that Dimitar's music is actually available to listen to on Spotify. You can listen to his music. We also have several playlists that are really nice for you to listen to as well. I'll put those in the description link down. Also, we've been getting a lot of requests for the sheet music for Dimitar's pieces, and that is out now. So I will put the link to the sheet music down there as well. We've also got a bundle, so if you want to save a little bit of money, you can check that out.
And very soon new pieces are coming up. We're preparing now a few more, and we're going to upload them very soon on Spotify. So I'm looking really forward to presenting you with some new works, but check the current ones as well. Anyway, this was all from us for this video for today. As always, like the video even if you didn't like it, subscribe to the channel even if you really don't want to.
Also, subscribe definitely, because we are coming up with some really nice new ideas on the channel. So
no matter how much you don't want to subscribe to the channel, just do it right now. Click that freaking subscribe button, and we'll see you next week again.